Morning, something to that effect. It is actually 6:02 a.m. on Saturday, February 8th of 2014. Figure I might as well do a video about this Dell Dimension 3000. Few people I've seen on YouTube have done videos on these, so this is another thrift store find. Got it pretty cheap. Trying to clean some of the dust off this heatsink real quick. These are an interesting machine to say the least, and I'm going to do a full power up test. First thing, go into. Okay, it's yelling at me because I pulled stick of memory that I had put in it out of it. Never understood Dell's thinking on this. This is an Pentium 2 or Pentium 4 2.8 gigahertz, but they come with 256 megs of RAM. And on this one, the video had been set to 128 megs. So in all reality, this computer didn't even have 128 megs of RAM to run Windows XP. I just had to put a new CMOS battery in this too, but might as well see what happens when you boot the thing up. I have actually been on this one before, but I mean, this thing actually surprisingly doesn't do too bad. I don't want to go in and give anybody's personal information, but I will. Oh yeah. I will show just how poor this computer runs. And somebody clearly liked the Office. I don't know what these are. Every user account on it has that pop up when you come on. I had actually installed Specky on this, so that's what I'll bring up. Not really sure I'm pronouncing that right, but hey, why not? Really. But yeah, this is how great this thing runs. Problem is, if I don't use the flash, you can't see anything down here, so I have this beam of light on the screen, which really kind of annoys me too. But I'm going to try to figure something out on that. Oh yeah, their AOL Instant Messenger. That they gave this to a thrift store with their name still logged in, with their password logged in, and also has auto sign in installed or set up on it. But this doesn't seem like it's really going to run. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hit shutdown, and according to Crucial's website, this machine should see 2 gigs of RAM with no problem. So I happen to found 1.5 gigs of RAM sitting in a computer that is what it's supposed to be. DDR400, they're both DDR400, one's a 1 gig, one's a 512. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in, and rather than really giving a tour of the Windows that's installed in this, I'm just going to crash it, because on my flash drive I have Zorin Linux I'm going to install on it. And Since this is a pretty quick process, I'll just go ahead and keep recording while I put the memory in. Because, you know, putting memory in is a really hard thing to do. According to Dell, because they only put 256 megs in. This thing brand new. And pop that in the USB. Hit go. It'll probably yell at me that the memory has changed, which it did. And go to boot off a USB flash device. Honestly, I have no idea how long this is going to take, because I've never start installer directly. That seems a lot faster than the way I was going to do it. It takes a second. It is actually reading. No, I've never opened that. Have I mentioned in any of my other videos I have ADD? Depending on how long this takes, I may want to just pause the video and then bring it back once it... Okay, there we go. Yeah, the Zorin OS is the same thing I'm running on this laptop. I really like it. It seems to do everything I need it to do. Ooh. Another problem that seems to be happening is I have dust falling out of the ceiling when people walk. I may want to put up like a piece of plastic or something. I don't want to block that outlet. And rather than running these humongous speakers that I have not fixed yet, I'm just going to use, I've been using these little Sonys. They're good enough for what I'm doing. I still need to build a new desk. I also got a roll of carpet yesterday. I'm going to put some carpet down in here. But what do we... This appears to be doing something. It is doing something. And since the this is a Pentium 4, this is a 32-bit system. So whereas the laptop's running 64-bit, this is running 32. And I'm going to try to do as much of this in real time as I can, because the point is to show just how easy these things are to do. I am connected to the internet. I do have 7.1 gigs available, I think. I don't know. I never actually looked at what size that hard drive is. Guess we'll find out together. Just like we'll find out if this will run Zorin together. Yes, replace Microsoft XP Home Edition with Zorin. I just realized I'm probably not zoomed up enough that you can see this. See what I'm doing? Ah, so this is a 40 gig. So let's go ahead and hit install now. I don't think it asked me about downloading, normally this asks you to download the, I am in the Eastern time zone, which would be New York time. So continue. I am in, again, the US. And since I may be selling this, I will just use that as user. I always like to tell it to log in automatically. So I'll just come up with the password I normally use, which is harder to use, figure out. It usually comes up as a weak password. That's ridiculously easy, and it says fair. Oh wow. I never knew that there was music on this screen. I think one thing that most people would like about this is it feels really like a matchup between Windows 7 and OS 10. Of course, this one's over here doing updates, when it should be updating my Dropbox. So might as well just sit back together and see what's happening. Okay, I have no idea what that backup alarm was, or that beeping. I don't know if anybody else heard that. While that's installed, I might as well talk about this a little bit. I know in UXW Bill's videos he has talked about the difference in the motherboards and what systems use the same motherboard. I'll be honest, I really am not that knowledgeable on this. I know that in one of them he has pointed out that the one of these does not have the AGP. It doesn't even have the artifacts, which this one does not. This has no SATA capabilities. It has no floppy drive, which I know annoys guys like UXW Bill and a few other guys. This is definitely going to be in need of a cleaning. I think this might even be... No, it is actually a Dell one. I was going to say, I thought it might be a replacement power supply because it says made in China, but I guess that's where it came from. And I'm really kind of afraid to pick this thing up. I'm not going to do that while it's running. But yeah, it does come with 2 DDR slots. Supposedly will run 400 megahertz, which is what I have in it. It doesn't look like it's got any bad capacitors in there. I mean, I don't know how well the camera will pick any of these up. There's a couple of them there kind of bent a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. It does actually have a chipset cooler, which is definitely working because that is hot. That one's not. Yeah, this thing is definitely going to be in need of a cleaning. It's actually a very quiet hard drive. And we have almost finished copying files. So let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, one thing it's talking about here is the Ubuntu 1, because Zorin is based off of Ubuntu. I have used the stuff like the Ubuntu Cloud and whatnot. That's actually a pretty nice, that's actually a very nice setup. If you have more than one computer, it kind of works just like Dropbox. If you have more than one computer with Ubuntu, install Ubuntu, the Ubuntu 1 in both of them. And any files you put in that folder on one are available on the other. The only difference is Dropbox downloads them to your computer, whereas the Ubuntu one, they stay on the cloud and you can just download them directly from there. But now it's create a user. Usually I will do that for some odd reason, probably because I'm kind of nerdy and I like to watch what it's doing. Actually, might as well say that this whole setup will most likely be for sale soon. I do need to get a new cable to go from the monitor to the computer. So this one's a little, I don't know if you can really see how glitchy it looks, but I've noticed that with this cable and other monitors, so I would just need to buy a new cable and put it on there. And I'll probably sell the whole thing as a unit, because it's a matching Dell keyboard, mouse, monitor, and tower. So Gotta stop putting my finger in front of the camera. That's like, I don't know how many times I've done that already. And apparently that one is done doing its updates. Yeah, this is what I'm talking. I don't know how well it'll come up, but you can just see where like dust and debris have fallen from the ceiling while I'm not down here. Well, actually, it does while I'm down here, I guess. But above me right now is an office. Guy's got a consultant firm or something, and I guess while he's walking, you got dust and stuff falling. And installation is complete. You need to restart your computer in order to use it. Restart. And it should ask me to remove the media soon. Oh. Pop out the USB drive. And just like that, every version of Linux comes up like this. You can either wait like 10 seconds or just hit enter, because it's already on the selection that you're pretty much going to want. And it'll come up. Yeah, I didn't really want to put Zorin on this. I thought it'd be too much, but then when I thought about upgrading the RAM, I'm like, yeah, that should work. Because there for a short period of time, I only had 256, or not 512 megs, and I had two 256 chips. But right out of the box, Zorin works with so many things that that Linux does, or that Windows does as well. And with Windows XP expiring in April, this is going to leave a lot of people with no support. And right now, I don't remember which version I downloaded, but it's 32-bit, but it says it's a long-term support, which they release every so often. These they call the long-term supports. Where do we find? It's been a while since I had to do this. The Zorin menu looks basically just like Windows 7. I can go in here to. It's been a while since I had to do this. It's a computer, and this isn't it. But there is a. There's a menu in here for system settings. There we go. I know it was one of these bottom ones. And then go in here. This looks just like OS 10 right here. I'm gonna hit details, and it tells me it's got a 1.5 gigs of RAM. This is the it's based off of Ubuntu 12.04. And it's 32-bit, gives me the graphics on it, the Pentium 4. But comes loaded with Google Chrome. Might as well make Google Chrome the default browser, since it's the only one that's installed on here. I don't need to get it started. Let's see how my internet runs down here. What do I want? And it actually is running very smooth, surprisingly. Don't mind me, I'm doing this. Doing a quick. Not looking for the whole concert. It's usually an obnoxiously loud ad. Weird thing about some of these older computers is they actually work. Oh yeah, this from default this turned almost all the way down. Sometimes they actually work better in full screen than they do in the small. I don't want to get nailed for copyright, so I might as well shut this off, but try to go in a little bit, see how that works. But this is a okay, it's telling me, okay, I don't need that, I'm not doing a backup, but I know that there will be a bunch of updates on this. But this was a basically typical Linux install and a test, and showing the Dell Dimension 3000. I may, because I do have that gateway over there, what I may try to do is find an old version of Red Hat and install it on that. Or I may install MonoWall on it and use that as a network server. But this is already going on for 22 minutes, which is not bad considering it went from what it was to what it did, and that was all in real time. I did not hit the pause button or anything like that. But I guess in a little bit of the future, if I decide I want to sell this, I'll go ahead and clean this up. Just shoot a video showing all the specs and whatnot. But thank you for watching. See ya.